Homecoming. Written by Rabindranath Tagore. Rabindranath Tagore, the first Asian Nobel laureate, wrote The Homecoming in third person, which narrates a touching story of Fateh Chakravarti. Back in village, he was happy and free. He played his boyish pranks and has the fun common to his age. But life lost all its charm when he was sent to Calcutta. Instead of love, he received insult. This made the boy unhappy and badly affected his progress in school. The unloved boy fell sick and suffered severely. Fateh was transferred from village life, which was full of mischief and pleasure, to city life where he had no one to love or to give care. He realized the value of home and love because of neglect from his uncle's family and separation from his mother. During his illness, this naughty boy turned mature and began to understand what is home. Fateh Chakravarti was a typical naughty village boy about 14 years old. He was the ringleader of his gang. He never went to school but spent the whole day flying kites, swimming in the river, and playing mischief. He was inventive and full of ideas. One day, a new mischief got into his head. There was a heavy log lying flat on the mud near the river, waiting to be shaped into a mast for a boat. Fateh and his friends decided that should shift the log by force from its place and roll it away. The owner of the log would be angry and surprised, and they would enjoy all the fun. Thus, Fateh and his friends decided to perform a new mischief. But the fun was spoiled before it started, as Fateh's brother Makhan went against this plan. He decides not to allow them to roll the log away. Thus, he quietly sat down on the log without uttering a word. This made everybody puzzled for a moment. Fateh asked him to get up, but Makhan sat more confidently and appeared like a young philosopher meditating. Now it was the question of Fateh's dignity before his gang, and so he ordered the gang to roll the log along with Makhan. As the log moved, Makhan fell into the mud. So he quarreled with Fateh and went home crying. All in this way, Makhan spoiled the fun. As already discussed, Fateh never went to school but spent the whole day flying kites and making mischief, being a constant nuisance, and his widow mother did not know how to manage him. He was lazy, disobedient, and wild, and to add more concern, not even studying properly. Bishamba, brother of Fateh's mother, or his maternal uncle, came to Fateh's house. Bishamba had gone away soon after the marriage of Fateh's mother, and he also started business at Bombay. Bishamba now lives in Calcutta and was visiting his sister after a long period. He volunteered to take Fateh to Calcutta, where he would be educated. Fateh's mother readily agreed, and Fateh also was excited to go. So he went with pleasure to Calcutta, expecting a new exciting life there. When Fateh and his uncle reached Calcutta, his aunt was not at all happy to see him. For her, Fateh was an unnecessary addition to her family because she had already 3 children who were quite unmanageable. To bring a village boy of 14 was very much upsetting to her. So Fateh was unwelcomed to his aunt. She used to behave rude. When she asked him to do anything, he would be overjoyed and that he would overdo. He was not loved and was insulted every now and then. His cousins also made fun of him. Fatik was the most backward and the dullest boy in his school. He remained silent when the teacher asked him any question. One day, he even lost his lesson book. It was impossible to prepare lesson without it. His conditions became so miserable that even his cousins were ashamed of him. He was insulted by his classmates too. Thus, Fatik faced trouble when he was at school. He could not make any friends. He longed for his village where he was a ringleader and where he had enjoyed life. His life was miserable and unhappy in Calcutta. He longed to go back to his village. One day, he fell sick and he feared that in such conditions, he would be nuisance to his aunt. So, he ran away from home. He was brought back in serious condition. The boy told his uncle that he wanted to go home to his mother. His uncle used to assure him that he would send him when holidays would come. In his fever, he kept on asking his uncle if holidays had come. Finally, his mother was sent for. She arrived and saw the tragic situation of her son. In his critical condition, Fatik, when visited by his mother, she makes a rare display of affection towards him. In the last, he utters, "Mother, the holidays have come." Fatik implies that this love from his mother represents the idea of whom he desires.